Okay, we are live right now. Hello, I hope everyone's having a great day today.
Hey!
Hey everyone. Hey guys. I'm good, Ferris. How are you, dude? No, I'm not really grinding money right now. I'm just helping people out. So if anyone needs help with anything, just send me an invite. Black Ops 7 was a bad game. I just didn't like it. Thank you. Yeah, I decided to start a lot earlier today. I've been starting these streams pretty late, so I thought I would finally start a stream earlier. Hey, Duroc, how are you doing? Howdy, looking forward to being here for the whole stream. Hey, dude. Yeah, it's 12 and a half years ago is when this game came out. Hey, Christine. Do I still find GTA fun? Yeah, for the most part, but not the PvP. I'm gonna have a video talking about the PvP soon, but... The enemies block a lot in Yakuza 3. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna probably take a break from Yakuza right now. When I finish Kiwami 2, I'm probably gonna play 50 Cent Blood in the Sand. That's the game I wanted to play next, probably.
So listen,
Oh, El Burro Heights, okay. We're sourcing cargo, then. Yeah, I'll play Fallout New Vegas. PvP video today? No, not today, Drifter Kids. It's gonna be either tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it's gonna be on Tuesday, because Monday, tomorrow, I'm gonna be pretty free, so if I don't get it out today, I'm gonna work on it mostly tomorrow, and then Tuesday I'll have it out. Those two polls that I put out are gonna be included in the video. I do want to play 50 Cent Bulletproof also, but I'm gonna play Blood in the Sand first. I got Cayo Perico 4 with gold and tequila. Okay, I can help you with that a little bit later. Well, I want to do the next games. I want to do them in chronological order. So for Metal Gear Solid. No, I have not, Victor.
you get the...
Return options. Okay, there we go. Do I like Warhammer 40,000 games? Hi, Random Fist. I know the games, but I've never played them. I've never been into them, no. Games I got planned for this year, the True Crime games, Warriors, 50 Cent Blood in the Sand was coming up next. Yeah, SOCOM 3, bunch of different games. Ghost Recon Wildlands, yeah, that one I want to do too. No, my session is a friend session. What's the weather like where you're at? It's pretty hot. It's 60 degrees today. Okay, how many destroyed truck? Yeah. There's actually an easier way to go about this instead of wasting explosives. There we go. Is Medal of Honor Pacific Assault and European Assault connected to the Medal of Honor Rising Sun and Allied Assault? That I don't know. I don't know if they're in the same universe. But speaking of which, I'm going to be doing European Assault in March, and also Ace Combat Zero, which is going to be the 20th anniversary of that game. Have you thought about playing Prototype 1 and 2? I know you've got a lot of games going on, but if you get a chance, it's fun to play. Criminally underrated, in my opinion. Yeah, they're open world games. I know you played the villain in the first game, so they're, I'm definitely into playing those games. And those games were big when I was a kid on PS3. Thank you, Keyboard Man, for the super chat. Have I ever played War Thunder? Yeah, I played a little bit of it. What if Menendez killed Manuel Noriega? I don't know. But that was never part of his plan. His plan was to get revenge on Woods and Mason. Maybe Sabaton for music, but I've never really been that into the into that much music. Who is the best soldier in The Sopranos? Well, Chris was a pretty good soldier when he was competent, but I would say probably Patsy. Maybe Patsy. How's it going, bud? I'm considering pre-ordering GTA 6. I'm not one more gamer person that's ever gonna get upset about getting delayed again. They want to make it great and fully developed. Oh, thank you, Cowboys and Angels. Thank you for the super chat. And I don't think it's gonna get delayed again. I don't think it's gonna happen. It's coming out this November finally. Hell Let Loose stream in the future? Yes, I do want to play Hell Let Loose. That I do want to play, 100%. What if David Mason, was in the Modern Warfare games? Well, the new Modern Warfare games and the old Black Ops games are in the same universe. That has pretty much been confirmed now. But there is one Modern Warfare character that appears in the Black Ops games, Imran Zakhaev, and we're talking about the new Modern Warfare series, the new one. He appears in Cold War. Half a year, I can't believe it. And thank you for being a member of my channel for half a year. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Keyboard and Cowboys. Thank you guys for the super chats. Remind us, why are you disgusted with RGT Studios? I get they hired a guy, but what was wrong with him again? That guy was accused of sexual assault. The guy that they hired, and that was just they wouldn't distance themselves from him at all. It's pretty disturbing. Hey Pep, a retail horror story. A friend of mine who worked at a game store was once threatened with firing for taking a cardboard cutout of Lara Croft for his sister, which was going to be thrown away anyway. What? Yeah, and I will tell you guys this, that in retail you are not allowed to take anything, even if the stuff is getting thrown out. So even if the stuff is getting thrown out, you cannot take it. That's what's just so stupid about it, is that you're gonna get fired for that. So that's pretty much a policy in all of retail. No, it's the exact same mission again. I think that for Kagawa, though, I think there's plenty of evidence that he did it. Is the PvP video coming out today or tomorrow? It is, it's coming out probably on Tuesday. Because I'm gonna be a bit tired later, and I don't think I'll have the energy to finish the video, but it is almost done. There's video proof he did it. Yeah, I did hear about that. All the food that my mom brought home from work, though, she could have gotten fired for that. But my mom is very careful with that stuff. And no, my mom is not stealing food. The food that my mom brings home from work, they were gonna throw out anyways. What is the video going to be about? It's going to be about a few PvP encounters that I've had, but the video isn't going to be strictly just me fighting PvP. That's going to be in the video, but in the video I'm going to be talking about my problem with PvP in this game. Because, look, I will be honest with you guys, is I like GTA Online. It is one of my favorite games. It is probably my most favorite online game. But I hate the PvP in this game. I do. I cannot stand the PvP in this game at all. I really hate the PvP. I'm sure there's other people in here that agree with me that you like the game but you hate the PvP. Because I can like the game but hate one part of it. And so, you know, I just do not like the PvP in this game. I think it's really bad. I like the co-op, I like the heist, you know, playing with people, helping people make money, but I just cannot stand the PvP in this game. What's my favorite game? Well, my favorite game of all time is Saints Row 2. Oh yeah, Minion Dave, PvP is pretty bad. No, my second favorite game would probably be GTA 4. Am I gonna get GTA 6 online? Oh yeah, 100%. I'll have a pretty good cosplay for Ace Combat Zero. For Ace Combat Zero, I'll have a pretty good cosplay. No, I didn't, Kaiten. I'm gonna play probably 50 Cent Blood in the Sand. Hey Pro, been following you for a while and love your videos. Will you ever make a playthrough of Condemned Criminal Origins? Yes, that's actually been a requested game. It's yeah, people say that it's like Manhunt but in first person. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna play Condemned one day. Thank you, Money Stacks, for the super chat. Yeah, Ace Combat Zero in March next month. I also have a really cool lore video planned for that on the moral lesson in Ace Combat. Do you think Teresi was expecting Enzo to die in Palermo in Mafia the Old Country? Yes. Yeah. I'll play Condemned 2 also one day. Thank you, Ferris.
Hey!
Go to La Mesa, okay. How many more of these do you have to do, Nikki? And Nikki, when you get over there, please don't blow open the gate right away. Let me actually do it with my RC car, because there's a way to actually do the mission without cops. Thank you, Michael Goddard, for sponsoring my channel. Thank you, dude. And thank you, Shiny Knight. Pro, GTA 3 is turning 25 this year, as well as Xbox, Windows XP, Wikipedia, the GameCube, Max Payne, Halo, and Devil May Cry. Yeah, a lot of games and systems. Yeah. 25 years of Wikipedia, huh? Oh. Oh, hey, OGBWE member. Yeah, I agree with you. I don't like the multiplayer in Ace Combat. I like the single player, but I don't like the multiplayer. The problem with the multiplayer, has anybody here played Ace Combat multiplayer? Like, do you agree it's kind of bad? Like Ace Combat 7's multiplayer is, like, really bad. It's just full of the most ridiculous sweats. Like, the most ridiculous, like, people take it so seriously. It's like, you can't ever play against some random, like, you know, average opponent. It's like you're always playing against a god in that game. I started PvP just a few months after the game came out. Up until Doomsday, PvP was decent, fun, and even respectful among others. I over 400,000 player kills. Quit early 2021 as it's boring now. Yeah, and True Evil, thank you for the super chat, but the problem with PvP is that people play so cheap in the game. Or Orbital, Cannon, Oppressor Mark II, Ghost Organization, that's all people do. It's just not fun. More sweats than in GTA Online. If you've ever played Ace Combat 7's multiplayer, you would know exactly what I'm talking about with the sweats in that game. I always forget where this is. Hang, remote control vehicles. Okay, here it is. I always forget where it is in the menu. 60 degrees is not hot. I think 60 degrees is hot. Okay, that got rid of the security system. Now we can go in, and that's how you get rid of cops. A lot of people don't know that about that mission. That if you blow up the security system with the RC vehicle, you don't have to deal with cops afterwards. A lot of people don't know that. Well, I'm at the highest amount of money that I've ever had right now, 1,300 million. 60 degrees to people in Florida is like the Arctic, I guess. Just started playing Mercenaries 2. Which faction aside from the Venezuelans is the most evil? The AN, China, the rebels, or the pirates? I mean the pirates, because the pirates are just coming in there just to loot primarily, but I would say probably China. But all of the factions in that game, Universal Petroleum is also really evil. They're really evil too. So like a lot of the factions in Mercenaries are just messed up. When the Soviets captured Hitler Youth soldiers or young Volkssturm soldiers, did they execute them or did they let them go? Both. Sometimes they were let go, sometimes they were executed, sometimes they were actually sent to gulags. And yes, the Soviets did send German kids to gulags. So that was, it all depends. If anybody has ever seen that movie, that World War II movie, it was a new one. It came out like a couple years ago. I forget the title of the movie. Jojo something. It was like a World War II movie about this kid. This German kid was the main character in the movie. That movie shows pretty accurately what happened to a lot of children that were in the German army after the war. Jojo Rabbit, yes, that was the movie. What games stuck with you the most and you couldn't forget about it? What I mean is, did you ever play something that ended up giving you a form of trauma? Maybe the first Last of Us game? Cayman or Yagurama?
Okay.
Yes, I'm gonna do Mercenaries 2. It's one of my plans to do it. Don't you get hot in these outfits? Maybe sometimes a little bit. It depends on the season.
So here.
Two more? Okay. I'll play as Matthias because that's the guy I've always played as. When do you unlock it, Adrian? What's my favorite Nico Bellic outfit? The tracksuit. I mean, don't say that about my fans, Riddles. It has to be nighttime in Kamurocho in Chapter 13. Okay. Don't blow up the truck. I can just take my, Phantom Wedge for this. Crap. I guess it's blown up, okay. My day's going good.
You got the other trail?
Well, I'm playing through a PC monitor right now, through OBS. Read previous comment, Pat. Damien and McCarthy, what? Thank you, Trad. Let me see. He reacted to another one of your videos, Pat. Explain the evilness of Senator McCarthy. Are you talking about McCarthy who did McCarthyism? Thank you, Trad. I'm sorry if I missed your super chat. Kirsten, 6 months ago, I ordered McDonald's and online, and I was watching my order for 2 hours. After I got my order, they just refunded me. Huh. That's, somebody might have basically taken your food. That might have happened. I will tell you this. I don't use DoorDash, but I do use Uber Eats. And on Uber Eats, I've gotten scammed before on Uber Eats. I have gotten I have had people take my food. I've had that happen. Like, one time there was a burger restaurant from my apartment. It was about 15 minutes from my apartment, and I gave them basically a 20% tip. And I ordered a bunch of food, so that 15% tip was, you know, adding up to a decent amount of money. And so I gave the 20% tip, and what ended up happening was the person got pissed off that the tip wasn't enough, and they just took my food and literally drove off. So that was it. I didn't see the person, but the person never arrived. They never did. They were pissed about the tip, and they never arrived, and that was that. And I was like, you know, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? It was like a 20% tip on like you know, that. But my friends told me I didn't do anything wrong. The person was just stupid. But that was that's, you know, one experience I've had. I will tell you though, I did have 2 other experiences where I got scammed though. I had ordered food from this restaurant once, and I ordered like this big container of apple juice. It was like a really, really big container. It wasn't just like a small bottle. It was a pretty big one. It's basically like a week's worth of apple juice or more. What ended up happening is I ordered that, and I ordered a bunch of food from the restaurant. I usually leave on my Uber account, on my Uber Eats account, I usually leave a message that says, just leave it in the lobby, and I'll come down and get it. You can go. And most drivers like that. They like that because they don't have to talk to me. They can just leave the food and just go, you know, for their next order. So basically, I have that happen where sometimes when people are delivering the food, I'm in the middle of something and I can't come down right away. And so I just basically say, just leave it in the lobby. It's good, and I'll come down and get it after. But one time, this one guy, he messages me through Uber Eats, and he says, come down and get the food. And I said, no, just leave it down there. And he's like, no, come down and get the food. And I thought that was weird, because it's like, why do you want me to come down and get the food? Don't you just want it, you know, you can just go. Just leave it there and go. But I come down, and when I come down, the guy's like, oh, wait, let me take a picture. Let me take a picture. He just keeps saying that over and over again. And I held the food, and he took a picture, and I didn't understand what that was about. I just thought it was weird. But then I got back to my apartment, and I realized it was really light, and I was like, wait a second. I should have had something more. I should have had the apple juice, because the apple juice would have been heavy, but I only had my food. So literally, the guy literally stole my apple juice, and the only reason he wanted me to take the picture was so that I couldn't complain, so that I could say, oh, I took a picture of the food. I confirmed that I had all the food and everything like that. That was pretty much it. So if that ever happens to you guys, when you're like, you're ordering food and the person insists on taking the pictures, if that ever happens to you, just make sure to tell them, okay, you can take the picture, but I'm checking the bag first to make sure that everything's in there. And if everything's in there, then you can take the picture. But other than that, I'm not going to accept the food. That's what you gotta do. And I will tell you this, a couple months ago, I had the exact same thing happen to me again, where this time I ordered pizza, and then I ordered chicken tenders. And what happened was the girl who brought over my order, she wanted to take a picture again. She's like, oh, let me take a picture, let me take a picture. And this is a different person. And I knew exactly what was going on. I knew the same thing was going to happen. And what happened is, I was like, no, I'm going to look at the food first. And I only had the pizza. I was like, where are my chicken tenders? Where are they? And the girl's like, I didn't know you had chicken tenders or anything like that. This is the order that they gave me. It's like, no. If you would have gone there, they would have given you more than just this. If you would have confirmed the order and stuff like that, it's like, where are my chicken tenders? And then she says to me, oh, I'll go back and get it. That's what she says. Because I would not take a picture of the food for her. I wouldn't do that. And you know what she ended up doing? She ended up parking like 2 blocks from my apartment, because on the Uber app, like, the order wasn't canceled yet, so I could still see her on the map, because when they're delivering their food, you know how you can see them. And she was just parked like 2 blocks away from my apartment, just not even moving. And then she just messaged me. She messaged me like an hour later, saying like, oh, they didn't have it or something like that. And you know what I was really considering doing? What I was really considering doing is I was considering just like walking over like 2 blocks and just scaring the crap out of her and being like, oh yeah, are you really going to the restaurant? But I was like thinking like, nah, I'm probably not gonna do that, because it's just gonna start a bunch of stupid drama and stuff like that. But I was just literally thinking about just walking like 2 blocks over and just, you know, knocking on her car window and just, you know, saying like, you know, are you really going to get my food or not? You know, because she was so stupid she didn't even realize that there's still GPS tracking. So she literally stole my chicken tenders, and then she was trying to make excuses on that crap. I don't even understand. And you know what, I'll tell you what really pisses me off about this crap. You know what really pisses me off about this is that I always give like a 20% tip. So I always give a 20% tip. I'm very generous with that. And like I already gave you a 20% tip, and you're still trying to scam me? Are you kidding me? So like, you know, that crap just really seriously pisses me off. Oh no, did someone... You should have worn your GTA cosplay while confronting her. No, that's... Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is that you can actually order through these apps, and you can actually just pick up the food on your own. So I don't know about DoorDash, but on Uber Eats, you can actually order the food for yourself. So you can say, you know, I'm ordering this, and then you can go and pick up the food at yourself. You don't have to, you know, get a driver. That's the thing. Sometimes I've done that. Sometimes, like, when I'm, like, in town or something like that, and I want to get some food after, I'll just, you know, pull up, like, you know, my Uber Eats app and see, like, you know, what's along the way, like, you know, what deals are there. And then I'll just, you know, go and pick up the food on my own. So, you know, I've done that before. So you don't necessarily always need a driver. The reason people get drivers is because they don't feel like going out to get the food. Can you explain McCarthyism and Damien reacted to? Oh, and I missed a few super chats. Hold on one second. Do I see griefers and tryhards as Bradley Snyders? Thank you, Never Killed Anyone, for the super chat. It really depends on the person. If it's a griefer, then yeah, you know, they're a toxic, you know, scummy person. If somebody's like a tryhard and they're just doing like PvP just with their friends and stuff like that, like they're not harassing me or anything like that, I don't really care. But if they are like a, you know, griefer, they're actively trying to blow up cargo, they're using Ghost Organization, they're scumbags. I used to work in a fast food. If the delivery guy collects the food but doesn't confirm on the app, they can just take the food and cancel the order. What? So wait, they can... The delivery guy collects the food but doesn't confirm on the app. They can take the food and cancel the order. Huh. Well, that's that. And I'm assuming you've seen the scam a bunch then, Arkoi. Thank you for the super chat. Can you explain McCarthyism and Damien reacted to? McCarthyism was McCarthyism started out on good principles, but it turned into like a disaster. Because McCarthyism, when you really think about it, was the first form of cancel culture. It really was. what McCarthyism basically was, it was in the 1950s. It was led by Senator Joe McCarthy, and it was that the HUAC, if I'm saying that correctly, House of Un-American Activities Committee. That was what the name of the organization was. And what House of Un-American Activities Committee basically was, it was a group of people that would investigate people for being potential communists. Now, if they suspected that you were a communist, they wouldn't arrest you because you can't be arrested for your political views in America. But if you were suspected to be a communist, what they would do is they would basically blacklist you. They would put you on a list, and what would happen is every single time you would try to open up a credit card, a bank account, you would try to get a job, you know, buy a car, anything like that, that would just pop up all the time, every single time that you were a communist. And so what ended up happening is people had their lives ruined. Now, the thing is, I hate communists. Communists are scumbags. But the thing about this is there was plenty of people that were not communists, like plenty of innocent people that were just falsely accused and put on these lists. So, like, if you were not, like, even if you were not a communist, if they just did not like you, they would oftentimes accuse you of being a communist, and they would put you on these lists, and they would basically ruin your life. That did happen. And I'll give you a perfect example. If for example, like, if you were against, like, segregation, if you thought that, like, segregation was wrong, they could accuse you of being a communist. Yes, they could, for that. If you were, like, a very big gun rights person, like, if you were, like, a person who really did not like the government, for example, you would be put on that list, which is it's really ironic that, like, they would accuse a gun rights supporter of being a communist. I just found that kind of funny. But that was, yes, they would put you on that list too for that. So they put people for a lot of really stupid things on those lists. Can I try to guess your MC name in GT Online? The Lost? Thank you, Jakey, for the super chat. House of Un-American Activities sounds un-American themselves. Yeah. And it's just like the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act is unpatriotic, even though it's called the Patriot Act. It's a stupid law. I'm an Uber Eats driver. People like these bad Uber Eats drivers make us good, hardworking Uber drivers look bad. Yeah, and that's the thing is it destroys confidence in the app and destroys confidence in drivers because people think that they're gonna get scammed. So yeah, you are right on that, Nikki. Why is there so many cops? What is going on over here? I have seen Dracula Untold. That was an old movie. That's like 2019 or earlier, I think. But I've seen that one. That one I did see. Yes. How do I grind RP? Get 5 warehouses, buy 1 crate at a time, and just grind out RP that way. That is a it just sell 1 crate at a time. It'll give you like 5,000 RP for selling a single crate and 7,000 and 2,400 for delivering it. Explain the Damien guy to viewers and Pat's comments on. Well, thank you, Bork. But yeah, Damien Reacts was a guy who he's a React channel. He reacted to a few of my videos. He seems like a good guy. I've seen his videos before. What is the Canon faction to side with in the end? They've never explained that. They never explained what the Canon faction to side with in the end of Mercenaries 2 is. But we do know that the canon ending in Mercenaries 1 is the Russian Mafia ending. That seems to be the canon ending. Thoughts on the UK's draconian internet laws, kind of like McCarthyism, if you ask me. Yeah, they were, I think that, you know, the digital ID, stuff like that, I think it's really stupid. And also, the thing is, I think it's stupid that people can be arrested for what they post on social media. The only time that I think it would be okay to arrest somebody for posting comments on social media is if somebody's actually, like, giving somebody death threats. If somebody's giving somebody death threats, then yeah, that's threatening people. But, you know, you can get arrested for that in America. But, like, when people, like, you know, posting different things, like political stuff and stuff, like, on social media, you can't arrest people for that. It's just stupid. But I know that that's been happening in the UK in recent years. That is just, a lot of people have been arrested for pretty stupid things. What makes somebody a scumbag for being a communist? The fact that it is a dangerous ideology that has killed millions of people and destroyed dozens of countries. Okay, here we go. Is Dracula from the movie a good guy or a bad guy? Neither. He's more of an anti-hero. I'm playing on fidelity mode. Thank you for telling me. I always keep forgetting. Yeah, thank you for telling me, dude. Tsundaku Chronicles, yes, I got plans to play that this year too. Okay, Nikki, after this, I'm gonna go and help some other people with their sales, okay? Hey, Phoenix, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, hey, Lee, Leia, but I guess I just didn't want more drama, so I didn't end up doing that. Thank you, OGB member. Oh, and Eric, I'm sorry I haven't seen your super chats. Does being nosy mean you care? Think about it, putting effort in wanting to know versus someone that doesn't. Well, no, being nosy basically means that you are interfering in somebody else's business. Like you're getting involved in other people's business. Thank you, XAZ, and Vietboy, thank you for the super chat. Thank you, Eric, for the super chat. One time I ordered delivery on the Jersey Mike's app, and the driver only spoke Spanish, and he brought me someone else's order. I asked him on Google Translator to go back and get my order. He never did. Yeah, and that is very frustrating too. That's very frustrating, Eric. Thank you for the super chat. I got a question for you. The person that you ordered the food from, was it the same person that came, or was it a completely different person? So like when you ordered that food, was it someone else? Oh, this is a rare car that can spawn. This car here.
Great.
This car doesn't spawn a lot. But this car, you can sell this car, I'm pretty sure.
Here for the magic touch?
17,000, that's easy money right there. Curse question, will GTA get the brothel DLC, which is definitely Mechanic from Vice Racers? No. No, I can't imagine them doing that. There would be so much controversy with that. You know, I used to joke that GTA Online should do a human organs business, but I don't think they'll ever do something like that. Does January 3 SL1 nuclear accident ID piss you off? Wait, what, Bork? And Eric, was that person on the app that you ordered from? Was that person, or was it someone different? Who remembers when Google was fined 1 trillion and what? 1 decillion. Yes, that was Russia. Russia fined Google $1 decillion. I remember that one. Yes. I've been to casinos before. I don't really gamble. I played a little bit of blackjack, but I'm not really a gambler. ID abbreviation for Idaho. Oh, okay, Bork. Okay, wait, does anyone... Okay, wait, Eric, are you still here? When you order through the Jersey Mike's app, it's delivered by DoorDash. I called the store and complained, and the manager delivered my order himself. Herself, oh. Well, here's what I will tell you. There's a very common thing that people do, where, so here's what happens. If you ever order food online, on like DoorDash or Uber Eats, right? And like in your situation, you told me that the guy who came to that delivered your food did not speak English at all, and it was he didn't even bring you the correct order. When stuff like that happens, what people tend to do, and I know people do this a lot in my home state of New York, where I'm from. This is very common. What people would do is they would basically rent out their Uber accounts and their DoorDash accounts to people. So that's what they would do, and typically a lot of times the people that they rented it out to were people who were here illegally. So it was basically they were illegal immigrants that were trying to make money, and so there was people that had like DoorDash and Uber accounts, and what they would do is they would basically let them use their DoorDash and their Uber accounts, and they would get like a percentage of that, so like 20% of their money or something like that, and basically for doing nothing. So they would get to use their Uber account, and then they would pay like 20% of the money to the person who owns the account, and that person would get paid for just doing nothing. That's what might have been happening there. So like when you had that order come in, that's what might have actually happened to you there. What's your protein food during workout? I eat a lot of different things: chicken, fish. Sometimes I'll have burgers, and when I eat the burgers, they're not some fast food stuff. They're from supermarkets, fresh, that I cook. I don't know how the Angels of Death supposedly got wiped out, because the Angels of Death were the largest MC. They had a chapter in every single state, in all 50 states. And also about Jersey Mike's, here's what I'll tell you. I don't know if Jersey Mike's like does this and stuff like that, but I've ordered through Jersey Mike before, and when I've ordered food from there, their sandwiches are just like really wet. Like I don't know if that's like a thing that they do, or I tried to check on the I ordered it from Uber Eats before. I tried to check if that was like a feature or something, but I didn't see anything like that, and I just did not like that. So I don't like the sandwiches being like that at all. So that's why I always have Subway, preferably, over that. Do I play any sports? No, not really, dude. GTA's broken, sold product from their meth business. Oh, I've had him at it for some time, PC. He seems cool. No, I haven't, Niall. Have I ever had seizures? No, I don't think so, no. Thank you, Aaron. I hope that you're okay. Jersey Mike's food is fresh. Subway's food is processed. What? I don't know then. I've just always liked Subway better than Jersey. Can you speak some Spanish? Sure. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Me llamo es Patricio. Y yo, juego, videojuego, Grand Theft Auto Online. Mi favorito, videojuego es Saints Row 2. I hope that was bad. I hope that I didn't. I hope that any Spanish speakers watching that, I hope you didn't cringe at my Spanish, but. Did Uncle's Lumbago went terminal? Huh. No, I don't think so. Never killed anyone. The thing about Uncle is that Uncle is a lazy guy, but deep down inside he's a good guy. Pro, speak some Polish. Jak się masz? Moje imię jest Patryk. Ja teraz gram grę Grand Theft Auto. Moja ulubiona gra jest Saints Row 2. I said the exact same thing in Polish. In Polish I said in Spanish earlier. Speak Russian? No, I can't do that. My dad speaks Russian, not me. Oh crap. Dudes be like, Subway sucks. My brother in Christ, you made the sandwich. For real, though. I prefer Jersey Mike's. Like I said, Chaz, thank you for the super chat. I've had Jersey Mike's before, but every single time I order Jersey Mike's, the sandwich is just wet, and I really don't like that. So that's just Subway. I've ordered so many different sandwiches from Subway, and they're never wet. But I've ordered so many sandwiches from Jersey Mike's, and they're always wet. And that's why I stopped eating their food, because I really don't like that. Do I speak German? No. Again, ask them to don't add the juices, aka don't get it Mike's way. Well, I'll check. I'll check on the app next time. How often do you eat fast food? I try to limit it once a week. Oh, fast food? I usually have like once a month. So yeah, not every week. Like usually once a month. No, I haven't, Vanny. Can I do an Aiden Pierce lore video? I could praise the Dawn, but if I do an Aiden Pierce lore video, it's gonna be more about, like, talking about why Aiden Pierce was such an underrated character. Can I dunk a basketball? No, I don't think so. Do I think there'll be a new DLC about the Mile High Club? No. I think the next DLC that's coming out, guys, this DLC is gonna come out what, in 4 months? The final DLC for GTA Online. This DLC, I'm telling you, is not gonna have anything special in it. It's not gonna be a business or anything like that. It's gonna be some new missions, but that's gonna be about it. And in those missions, you're gonna kill Mr. Faber. That's what it's gonna be. So that's what it's the final DLC. It's gonna be. It's like gonna be like a story DLC. It's not gonna be more than that. Do you think greed is what's destroying the world? Yeah, to a degree. But I'm just trying to think of something. It's the thing is you know what I think is even more harmful than greed? You know what I think even more harmful than greed? I think narcissism. I think a lot of people can agree with me at narcissism. It's even worse than greed. Because I think narcissism is probably the thing that causes the most amount of problems around the world, more than greed itself. Greed, I'm not saying greed is a good thing, but I'm just saying is I think narcissism costs even more problems than greed. Can someone invite me? Anyone who needs help with anything? Hey, Pro, my great-grandfather's birthday is coming up. He fled from the Armenian genocide and was in World War II. Can you talk about the genocide and educate us? Thank you, Unconverting, for the super chat. The Armenian genocide, that happened during World War I, and it was a lot of the Armenian population was, they wanted to secede from the Ottoman Empire. They didn't want to be part of the Ottoman Empire anymore. The Ottomans got really mad, which is, the Ottoman Empire was controlled by Turks mostly at the time. What they did, the Young Turks, they were the political party that controlled the Ottoman Empire. They had slaughtered between 1 to 2 million Armenians. It was really brutal. It was really horrible. Modern day Turkey to this day actually denies the Armenian genocide. They don't recognize it as an actual event. they claim that the whole thing's messed up. So that's what a lot of people don't know, is they don't know that the modern day country of Turkey denies the Armenian genocide. But they don't just deny the Armenian genocide. The modern day country of Turkey, they deny most atrocities the Ottoman Empire, committed. Like they'll lie to the atrocities they committed against the Greeks. They'll lie about the atrocities they committed against the Arabs. So like their education system is very biased with that. It shows like it's a very neo-Ottomanist view.
Well, I suppose that was my fault then. Jeez!
Thank you, Lamar and Unconverting for that, and praise to Don for those super chats. Was history a favorite subject in school? Always. Always was history, yes. Why do we say Ottoman, not Turkish? That's what they were called, the Ottoman Empire, but they were pretty much controlled by Turkey. Can you do the New York accent? Hey, how you doing? Does anyone have a business they can invite me to? Never had my Jersey Mike subs be like that. Well, I gotta check next time I order then, because when I've ordered, the Jersey Mike sandwiches were always so wet. I just didn't like that. I invited you? Oh, I see it here. Invite to business, please. How did the Ottoman Empire collapse, bro? At the end of World War I, the whole thing just fell apart. Pro, how did the government get funding without the IRS? Well, they used to be called the Bureau of Internal Revenue. The government got most of... Back in the day, there was no income tax. There wasn't. Income tax was only created in 1913. So 1913 is... So what people don't know is that most of American history, there was no income tax. There wasn't. The income tax is what? Like about 113 years old? So it's... For more of American history, there has been no income tax than there's been an income tax. But about that... The government had made money through tariffs. That was their main source, and also taxing alcohol and tobacco. That's where they got it. It was basically like a sales tax. So that's how the federal government was funded mostly back in the day. Oh no, that's just what we call it in the West. We call it the Ottoman Empire. Oh, okay, I could do that, Michael. Happy birthday to Rico. Happy birthday to my friend Rico. How the hell did the IRS exist in GTA? Well, I guess they're just a parody. Thank you, never killed anyone, for the super chat. Do I work in a supermarket? No. Yeah, do you like my history shorts that I do? I'm gonna do more of them, don't worry. Well, Kurdistan is separated into in three countries. It's one part of Kurdistan is in Iraq, the other one is in Iran, the other one is in Turkey. Unfortunately, the Uniparty in America doesn't want to abolish the income tax, despite them bragging about cutting or abolishing taxes. Yeah, I don't think that income tax is ever going to be cut. No matter how much politicians talk about it, I don't think they're ever going to get rid of it, because both parties support it so much. They literally both support it. The Libertarian Party is really the only party that supports abolishing the income tax. Everyone else supports it. Thank you, Isaiah, for the super chat. Do I think the Korean War was justified? Well, it depends on what you mean, because when you say the Korean War, if it was justified, like, who are you talking about specifically? Are you talking about North Korea? Because North Korea are the ones who started the Korean War. The U.S. did not start the Korean War. North Korea did. So if you're asking, was the Korean War justified from North Korea's perspective? No, hell no. If you're asking whether it was justified for America to intervene, yeah, definitely, I would say. Like, we did not start the Korean War. North Korea did that. Oh, Black Ops 7 were the most annoying hallucinations, Jesus, because they were like in every single mission. The U.S. did not start the Vietnam War either. The Vietnam War was actually started by France. It's like I said, Patrick, the politicians for both parties don't know how to solve problems when they are elected. Yeah. You know, I really don't have any faith in any politicians anymore. So it's like, yeah, that's basically what I'll say about that. It's all BS, all of it is. What's your thoughts on General MacArthur? Is he a hero or a lunatic? Well, during World War II, he was definitely a hero. MacArthur's greatest accomplishment was democracy in Japan. Like, Japan's current democratic system is because of MacArthur. So MacArthur is seen very positively in Japan because he did not pursue a policy of revenge against Japan. He helped rebuild Japan. Now, as for the Korean War, during the Korean War, MacArthur basically got a bit crazy during the Korean War. Because during the Korean War, China sent 2 million soldiers and attacked the U.S. during the Korean War, and the MacArthur's entire plan was to drop nuclear weapons all over China during that. Why is America was unhealthy? Wait, what are you asking me, Aaron? What do you think Agent's signature gun is in Watch Dogs? To suppress 1911. Is it true the Bureau of Internal Revenue were corrupt? Oh yeah, there's a lot of corruption in that agency, 100%. Do you know what the Bureau of Internal Revenue were also nicknamed? Revenue men. That's what they were called, revenue men. So revenuers. Those guys that you see in Red Dead Online, that block, you know, your moonshine sales and stuff like that, that was a real government agency. Those guys were real. I don't know, I might, maybe in August I might continue Half-Life again. That's what we might do. Why can't the US ban certain chemicals in food that lead to health problems, just like how in Europe they ban every chemical being used in their food because of lobbying and politicians? I'll play Yakuza 3 Remastered, but I'm going to take a break from that and I'm going to do 50 Cent Blood in the Sand next. I don't know on that, Israr. Invite me to your next business, dude. Thank you, Izatsu, Fian. What's your question, Rashad? I'm sorry, there's a lot of people that are posting. Just tell me what your question is.
You doing this?
Do you watch Smiling Friends? No, I haven't seen that. Wait, what just happened? Sweet could technically be the main character of San Andreas stories. I don't think it would work because Sweet never wants to leave the hood, so I don't think it would work. Red or blue, which would I choose? I don't know, maybe red? What was the main reason, what was the reason that the U.S. did not help Russia after the Cold War, similar to how the U.S. helped Japan after World War II? Thank you, Jesus, for the super chat. Call of Duty World War II is way better than Vanguard, Jack. Leviticus Cornwall was based on Andrew Carnegie. To answer your question, the United States did not help Russia after the Cold War because they thought that Russia was a superpower and they thought that Russia could rebuild on their own, and also because the United States had spent a lot of money on their military at that point and they didn't want to be sending out money to another country. But I will say that America not helping Russia rebuild after the Cold War is literally one of the worst mistakes America has ever made. It's one of the stupidest things America has done, because the thing is that from an American perspective in the West, when we look at the fall of the Soviet Union, that's a really good time for us. Like, it was like the 90s were a great time in America. It's like our economy was booming, the Soviet Union, our greatest enemy, had collapsed, the Cold War was over. But on the other hand, if you look at it from the Russian perspective, their entire economy collapsed. People lost everything in one day. So somebody could basically be a doctor one day, and then they could be selling prescription pills illegally on the street the next day. You know, some girl might be an actress, she might be a prostitute the next day, because they're so desperate for money. So, like, that's what Russia was like in the early 1990s. It was just so crime-infested. It was like their economy was just, you know, crap. Their inflation was through the roof. Russia also had a disastrous policy, because what Russia did was they didn't have enough money for an army. So do you know what they tried to do? They tried to create an army of convicts. So basically what Russia did was they put in that if you had committed a crime, you would be forced to serve in the Russian military as part of your crime. And what happened was criminals were basically thinking, oh, I'm going to go and commit crimes. If I get caught, I'll just serve in the Russian army. And so what ended up happening is crime just skyrocketed. So that was it was a disaster in Russia. And if the U.S. had sent aid packages to Russia, like similar to what they did to France and Britain, like after World War II, and just helped like Russia rebuild their country after the collapse of the Soviet Union, chances are there probably could have been a stable government put into Russia, like an actual republic. And Russia and America probably would have developed very friendly relations and probably would have liked each other today. But unfortunately, the U.S. did not do that. They didn't help Russia. Russia's economy collapsed, and then Russia fell into authoritarianism, and then you had, you know, eventually dictatorship. And when people, and it's kind of understandable why Russia fell to dictatorship, because when people get desperate, when they're poor, when their economy is crap, they always turn to dictators. It always happens throughout history. So it's honestly no surprise what ended up happening to Russia. But it's really sad, because a lot of this stuff could have been avoided if the U.S. had just helped Russia, but they didn't. And this just, you know, ended up happening. And this fuels resentment in Russia today, where they basically think, like, you know, Americans abandoned them at the end of the Cold War, and yeah. Nixon did predict it. Nixon predicted it. He predicted it. He called it. Like, Nixon was not a stupid man. You know, say what you want about Watergate, but Nixon did say that if we don't help Russia rebuild after the Cold War, that a dictator is going to come to power, and he is going to blame all of Russia's problems on America, and Russia is going to be very hostile to America in the future. That's literally what Nixon said. And Nixon literally predicted everything. He called it. He literally called everything that happened. GTA San Andreas Stories would have been on PlayStation 2 also. I would have loved it, but unfortunately we never got it. Who is the worst, most brutal dictator in history? That's really hard. I'm gonna give it a tie between Stalin, Hitler, and Mao Zedong. Those are the three worst dictators that existed in history. I still gotta do the original Phoenix Wright trilogy one day. Was Boris Yeltsin's actions in Black October justified or a fatal mistake? Are you talking about when he had tanks fire on the Russian parliament? Is that what you're talking about? Do you know of any person Dmitry Raskolov wouldn't betray Bulgarin because Bulgarin is just too powerful? No, I don't smoke anything. Which food that I thought was unhealthy? What do you mean, Aaron? Well, Robert Mugabe was a terrible person, terrible dictator. You know, that guy was a pure scum. Mugabe destroyed Zimbabwe. He caused one of the worst inflation rates in history. Like, Zimbabwe, even to this day, has one of the worst. He's been gone from power, but Zimbabwe to this day has one of the worst inflation rates because of him.
Oh my god! You shit!
Well, Pol Pot killed 2 million people. That guy was a psycho. No, I think Dimitri was a perfect villain for Nico.
Listen, we can't do it in the office anymore.
Do I miss 2018 and 2019? Maybe to a degree.
Have to pull out.
Life was a bit more simple then, but
I really need that promotion.
Idi Amin was very evil. That was a Ugandan dictator. Nixon did not start the Vietnam War. The thing I'll tell you guys something is the Vietnam War has so much there is so much propaganda in that war, so much in that. Like I'll give you guys an example. Now Nixon did some pretty stupid things. Like if I had to name the stupidest thing that Nixon did, the stupidest thing that he did was probably when he India and Pakistan went to war in 1971 over East Pakistan, and Pakistan was basically committing a genocide in Bangladesh. India intervened, and what happened was Nixon basically sent American battleships to support Pakistan in that conflict. That was probably his stupidest thing he did, because Pakistan was the aggressor in that conflict, and it turned India away from America and made India go towards the Soviet Union, which was a very terrible tactical mistake. But one thing that Nixon does get blamed for that's not really his fault is when he attacked Cambodia. So basically, during the Vietnam War, Nixon authorized an invasion of Cambodia. This is before Pol Pot, so Pol Pot was not in power yet. Cambodia was a monarchy. Now, Cambodia was technically a neutral country, and when Nixon invaded Cambodia, he was basically like condemned by the entire international community, and they were saying like, oh, you know, he's an imperialist, he's intervening in a neutral country and stuff like this. And the monarchy of the king of Cambodia, Sihanouk, that was his name. He had was saying, oh, Nixon invaded my country and all this other stuff, blah blah blah. But here's the thing about this. Here's what they aren't telling you about that. Nixon was justified in attacking Cambodia. He was. The reason for that is because even though Cambodia was a neutral country, it was only a neutral country on paper. It was not a neutral country at all. Here's what happened. The North Vietnam built the Ho Chi Minh Trail and the Sihanouk Trail through Cambodia. What the Sihanouk and Ho Chi Minh Trail, it was a trail, the Ho Chi Minh Trail went mostly through Laos, but part of it also went through Cambodia, and they also did it, the Sihanouk Trail in Cambodia. So North Vietnam sent soldiers into Cambodia, a neutral country, and what they would do is they would go through Cambodia, a neutral country, and they would basically use that to flank the U.S. and attack the U.S. from the Cambodian border. And North Vietnam did this numerous times. This was not a small operation. They did this over and over again. So, like, North Vietnam was violating Cambodia's sovereignty, going through Cambodia, and then attacking South Vietnam and attacking the U.S. And the U.S. had basically told Cambodia several times. They told them several times, like, you know, you gotta stop this. Stop, you know, North Vietnam from, you know, attacking us through your country. And Cambodia constantly ignored us. They would not listen. They constantly would ignore us. They would say, oh, we're neutral, we're neutral, we're neutral. But you can't be a neutral country if you're letting a communist country go through your country to attack another country. You can't be neutral in that regard. And then what ended up happening is the U.S. eventually got pissed off and just invaded, you know, Cambodia and had Sihanouk removed from power. And so that's what happened. So that's the backstory about it. So you know, there's a lot of people that lie about that, and they say, oh, America invaded Cambodia for no reason. No, no, no. It was not for no reason. It was because Cambodia was literally had North Vietnamese troops constantly crossing through its border, attacking American troops in South Vietnam. Like, Americans and South Vietnamese soldiers were dying because Cambodia was not doing anything about that. They were like not enforcing their border, and they were not. They claimed you can't be a neutral. You can't claim to be a neutral country and do stuff like that. So that's what I say about that. So I think Nixon unfairly gets blamed for attacking Cambodia when it wasn't really his fault. It was Sihanouk's fault. He was the stupid, you know, king of Cambodia who basically caused all that entire mess to happen. Let me see here. Wish we had the option to spare Mr. Faustin. I do too. But the thing is, if you spare Mr. Faustin, there's actually a call to Dimitri where Nico tells him that, and Dimitri gets really pissed. It's a non-canon call, but you'll see what Dimitri's reaction was like. Thank you, Praise the Dawn. It's impressive how much you know about history. Thank you. Probably sashimi, Austin. I never ended up doing the vending machine business, Dan.
How can I help? Okay, so you're in serious trouble, and you need my help. Okay.
Oh, Lyndon B. Johnson was a much worse president than Nixon. I will agree with that. Yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson was way worse than Nixon. Hey, Pro, I don't know if you heard about this person, but had you heard about Ken Rex McElroy? He was a terrible person. No, this is the first time I've heard about him. Who was he? Thank you, King Will, for the super chat. Oh, crap. Damn. I hate those undercover cops. Yeah, I do still plan on making more Mafia content. I can't even kill these cops, because if I do kill them, I'm gonna get a wanted level. That's the annoying thing about these undercover cops, is even if you lose cops, you'll still have them chasing you. What do I think about Ho Chi Minh? I think Ho Chi Minh was a scumbag. The thing about Ho Chi Minh is Ho Chi Minh wasn't as evil as, like, for example, Pol Pot. Pol Pot was way worse than Ho Chi Minh, but Ho Chi Minh was not this good person that's like you know, talked about in history. And here's what I'll say about this. Ho Chi Minh, the U.S. saved Ho Chi Minh's life. A lot of people don't know that. Ho Chi Minh was sick and dying during World War II. American OSS agents actually saved his life and nurtured him back to health. I don't remember what sickness he had, but he was sick and he was hurt, And so the U.S. helped him during World War II. He was like a Vietnamese freedom fighter who fought against the Japanese. So we helped him out a lot. We provided him with weapons, training, medical supplies, a lot of stuff, food. We helped him. Now about Ho Chi Minh is Ho Chi Minh is a very lied about person in history, because you know the amount of people that I see that don't know their history. Like I see these really stupid comments where people say that like, oh, Ho Chi Minh admired America and then America like pushed him away, and then he became a communist and all this other stuff. That is all bullshit, excuse my language. That is not true. So like I hear people saying all the time, oh, Ho Chi Minh respected America and then America turned him away, and then he went to the Soviets for help. No, that's not what happened. Ho Chi Minh always hated America. Always. He never respected America. He never liked America. And Ho Chi Minh was always a communist. He was. In the 1920s, he lived in France and he was a member of the French Communist Party. This is 20 years before World War II. So he was always a communist. He always hated America. So like this idea that he became a communist later on because America betrayed him, it's all nonsense. He was always a communist his entire life. He always hated America. I don't know, I guess, Kamachi. I guess that's his Kirio's personality. Yeah, I guess. I just started... I'm reading what the characters are saying. Do I invest in any stock? I'm not a financial advisor, but when I do buy stocks, it's only Amazon. That's the only thing I ever trust is Amazon. Yeltsin sending tanks and bombing the Soviet parliament is the worst thing that he did.
Buckley.
Well, I'm not surprised Jack Doherty did that. He's an idiot. Pierston, I will help you with your heist right after this mission, okay? I'm gonna do this mission first. That's a bit of a drive, right? Wait, what's wrong, Rashad? Yes, I still have Destroy All Humans Collector's Edition. What do I think about Lee Kuan Yew? Lee Kuan Yew is probably one of the few people in history who has like gone down as like a dictator who actually cared about his people and wanted to do what was best for his people, where almost all dictators in history were scumbags. make the drop and just start heading down the highway, just to save time. Yeah, make the drop and start heading down the highway. TJ's gonna take care of this. He's got a Savage. My favorite president, in the 18th century, it would be George Washington. 19th century, Lincoln. 20th century, Teddy Roosevelt. Well, Trotsky was more moderate compared to Stalin, but Trotsky was not a good man himself. I think I know where the next drop is going to be. Isn't it going to be here? Once you make that drop, just head down the highway. Okay, I'll see you, April. Minifig, go down here. Wait, you didn't deliver your guns? Okay. Hey, Plane Mantis, how you doing, dude? Yeah, Arc Raiders, I want to give that game a try. Play it once. Top 3 worst presidents in history. Woodrow Wilson, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson. Also, I'd probably put Lyndon Johnson on there too. Why was Kazakhstan so loyal to the USSR? Because they knew their entire economy depended on the Soviet Union. Also, the Soviets' space and missile facilities were all inside Kazakhstan. Oh, it's in the same place again. Okay. Yeah, we did see the space ports in a Black Ops 1 mission. Best capo in The Sopranos? Probably would be the best capo in The Sopranos. Probably probably Vito, actually. Yeah, Vito. Cause and Vito never really did anything bad against the family. So yeah, Vito made them a ton of money. So probably Vito. Would you say Discord has officially died? I feel the overreach these companies do on privacy is insanity. Yeah, I would agree with you, somebody 32.
Hey, that shit was fucked up last night, right?
Everyone come to me. I found the next drop. It's right next to me. Everyone come to me. No, you guys don't gotta get out and fight. Let TJ deal with it. Isn't someone technically a made man when they join the mafia? It depends. Like, associates are technically members of the mafia, but they're not full members. A made man is like a full member of the mafia. So, like, somebody can work for the mafia, but not be a full member. Did Tony send that guy to attack Melfi? No. There is no proof that Tony did that.
No sense.
Good stream. Thank you, Phoenix. Do you know every US president from first to last? No, I wouldn't be able to name you every single one in order. It's a lot of them. $2 billion? I don't think I'm going to get to $2 billion before GTA 6 comes out. I'm not even really going for it. I'm just helping people out. Is there a possibility that the people who scam through phone calls were forced to do the scamming? No, for the most part, they are voluntarily doing it. There are a few scam calls that operate in Southeast Asia where people have been kidnapped and stuff like that and forced to do it. But a lot of those scam calls, like the gift card scams, for example, they get a percentage back of every single person that they scam. So no, they're... Oh, right here, yep. I found the next one, too. Minifig, follow me after this, because I think I know where the last one is going to be. I think I know where the last one's gonna be. Guys, ever see the movie The Beekeeper? No, but I know the movie. It's the movie where Jason Statham, he goes and he goes after the scammers. Yeah, I wish that Jason Statham would do that in real life. Yeah, that. Okay, it's gonna be one of two locations. Either gonna be the pharmacy or the supermarket. Pro, I want to get into real estate. Any advice? Oh, I found it right here. Yep, I called it, the pharmacy. So about getting into, real estate, I'm assuming you mean rentals, because that's what I do. I own 2 rentals. When it comes to that, only do one at a time, and make sure it's fully paid off until when you decide to get the second one, if you ever do decide to get a second one. Because one really stupid thing that people do, a really dumb thing people do, is that they tend to get a ton of loans out, and they'll buy like 10 rentals at once, and then they'll rent them out. And they think, oh, the mortgage will just pay for itself. But what they aren't calculating is they aren't calculating that you are going to need to look for tenants, which is going to take you time. It might take you time to find tenants. You might not find a tenant right away. Secondly, you're counting on the fact that they're all going to pay on time, which they might not all pay on time. And third, you are counting on the fact that there's not going to be anything breaking, anything going wrong. And then people get put into disasters and then they lose their money. So if you're going to get a rental, only get one, and then only take care of that one rental. That's it. And then once you fully paid that rental off, and the rental everything is paid off, then get the next one. Whatever you do, don't buy more than one rental at a time, because I'm telling you, it's going to turn into a disaster. Only start off one, fully pay it off, and then when you're fully paid off on that one, then go for the next one, if you want. But don't ever buy multiple rentals at once. A lot of these stupid people do that, and it turns into a disaster. What's my religion, Pro? I'm an agnostic. There's a race called the Bathurst 12 Hour, and sadly someone accidentally ran over a kangaroo. It happened yesterday. Poor kangaroo. What? Oh, man. Thank you for the super chat, somebody 32. Thank you, somebody 32 for the super chat. Pro, are you a Tatar? Yes. Well, I'm half, but yeah. Yes, I did hear about that story with the gorilla. The little boy fell into in the zoo, and then the gorilla had to be killed. Yes. I guess that's just Kirio's character, Kamachi. Okay, let me go and help Pearson with his heist now here. Do I like honey? Sure, maybe that's not a lot of it, but yeah, I guess. Yeah, we're gonna play Saints Row for the 20th anniversary. It'll be fun. Do I know Lewandowski? Yes, he's a Polish soccer player. I don't know him personally, but I know the guy. I have channel membership. You would just have to hit the join button.
Good work, Charlie. Welcome back again. I have been thinking, perhaps
No, it's for Rainbow Six Siege, right, Julio?
he tells himself we would have to be crazy to keep coming back, but he does not appreciate Russian military strategy. We make no distinction between madness and genius, huh? Okay, come. Let us give him another lesson. Not long now till landfall. GPS trace acquired. I have your location. Once you are inside the compound, I will be able to see you on CCTV. You could always drive through the main gate. You would need the right vehicle, of course.
¿Ah, sí? Pues llamo a la chota.
Do you have the truck? Are you all in uniform? You'll need to be if you want to go through the main gate. Some advice. When dealing with paranoid drug lords, expect CCTV everywhere.
Okay, let's go through here. Yeah, a lot of the problem with Cayo Perico is people only do the submarine. They don't do anything else. The heist becomes a lot more fun when you do the other strategies.
You know, in a way, I admire Mr. Rubio. We steal from him, and he restocks the cupboards with goodies. Huh? We Russians love an optimist. Checkpoint ahead. Beyond this, the compound.
Control, un camión en la puerta principal. Atentos.
Okay, let's do this here.
Hold up. Let's take a look at you. Okay. ¿Se ve bien? Lo voy a dejar pasar. Clear. Go on. Go on.
Perfect. Back on the inside. You know where the vault is, of course. Just remember, his personal bodyguards will not be fooled by your uniform.
Wait, what just happened?
¡Me tienen mamado! ¿Qué tal si se les...
Pierston, what just happened?
¡Necesito que me cubran!
I'll think of a time when we'll do Crime Boss. Lord Malvo was a psycho. Yeah, that was Lord Malvo was one of the scariest people, Anton.
It's good to be back. You know where to go by now, and do not forget, the bodyguards will not be fooled by your disguise. You're in the area where Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards operate. These men will know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
Kirsten, I got the key card. Can you come over to me?
Check the safe, I think.
Hang on, where? Damn it, I'm always getting confused where this damn building is.
You must use them simultaneously.
Swipe.
Well done. What is your position? On this schematic, you are walking through walls now.
Okay, we're gonna have to really be quick on this. Quick, let's open this first.
Welcome back. Now, how are your nerves? Steady? You will need them to be if you want to get into that bulletproof display case. Steady nerves and a plasma cutter.
Pierston, once I get this, we are running. We're getting out of here really quickly. I'll do a playthrough Fallout New Vegas one day, yes, dude.
The submarine was so cold, the plasma in my plasma cutter froze. And somehow it's still overheated.
Okay.
You know, there is something about coming all this way to steal a bottle of booze, which speaks to me on a very deep level. We cannot go out using the same truck. We're going to need another exit route.
Fabián entregó la tarjeta de acceso.
No sé, pero anda por aquí. Pregúntenle.
Crap, hit it, Pierston, quick.
Aquí llegó. ¡Cúbranse!
Yes, but the I tried to do the emulation on the games like the PS Now thing. It was not good, though. That's what I'll say about it.
Yes, you are clear of the compound. This is the final straight. Find your way through the last guards, and we get out of here. Your exit route via the airstrip is on your GPS now.
What the hell? Where?
¡Verga! ¡Le dieron!
Pearson, where are you going right now? This is so weird right now. This is such a weird glitch. Pearson, what are you doing? Where are you going right now? Are you going all the way to the plane? Chuck? Who's Chuck, Aaron? Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. Oh, I hate the explosions in this game sometimes so much. I was just confused on where Pearson was going. I thought we were going out through the water and... Pearson, just escape through the water, that's it. It's okay, Pearson. Oh, what just happened? Wait, what? Did you cancel the heist? I quit? Or I don't understand. Did I quit or? Pearson, what happened? You quit. Wait, why did you quit, Pearson? Pearson, why did you quit on that though? Oh man, yeah, that's what's gonna be frustrating. We're gonna have to go through all of that again, and we're probably gonna set up a bunch of alarms now. Hello, Pro. Myself and my friends have all lost hype for GTA 6. I move on to other hobbies, and life is too busy now. I've lost all interest. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, they're taking pretty long on it. Thank you, The Truth, San Andreas. Thank you, man. They really are taking their time with it. Pearson, why did you leave? The value will go down. Well, not if you kill your character and you restart it from there. Pierston, just take us to the back. We're gonna swim through the tunnel. We're not gonna take the truck. Just take us to the very back. And we're gonna swim through there.
Good work, Charlie. Welcome back again.
It's okay, Pierston. Let's just get this done.
Mr. Rubio thinks we are finished with him. He tells himself we would have to be crazy to keep coming back, but he does not appreciate Russian military strategy. We make no distinction between madness and genius, huh? Okay, come. Let us give him another lesson. Not long now till landfall. GPS lock. I have your position. I will also access compound CCTV to see you when you are there. All right. See you in maintenance room.
The original Star Wars prequels were actually pretty good. The new movies just sucked.
We cannot resist coming back, huh? Like child in candy store, or as we say in Russia. Well, judging from the lack of terrified screams, I will assume you made it through the uncharted tunnel and into the den of strung-out militiamen. Good. Things are going according to plan, huh? Now, let's see what he has for us in the vault this time. You're in the area where Mr. Rubio's personal bodyguards operated. These men will know every soldier under their command. No disguise will fool them.
What? No, no. Okay. Okay, just keep going. This is... I hate the stealth on this heist so much.
Tenemos un herido. Despídase. ¡Cúbranme! ¡Imbécil! ¡Qué putas! ¡Avancemos! ¡Hue puta! ¿Qué se ríe, care verga?
Pierston, I'm taking this painting.
Good thinking.
Just so we can
Check the safe.
get out. The painting is the second most valuable item. We're getting whatever in the basement, and then we're leaving.
You have good taste in things to steal.
Yeah, the stealth in this game is so bad, guys. It is.
¿Quiere que le den lo suyo? Siga así.
If a gate is locked, to look for the key. Probably it is with one of the many people you have shot.
Rogue One was good, yes, and the TV shows were good, but when I say the new ones suck, Long John, I'm talking about the new movies, the new trilogy. They were bad.
Back once again.
Pierston, you're gonna get that gold over there, and then we're leaving with whatever we have.
Excellent. You see the display case? Don't bother shooting it. You will have to use the plasma cutter, and you will have to do...
What's your thoughts on Rockstar becoming woke? I've seen some videos has GTA 6 gone woke, and that Rockstar is watering down characters and content. I don't think so. Thank you, Darkwing, for the super chat. I don't think there's really any proof that the game has become woke. I mean, people, you know, whenever you ask people for proof that the game has gone woke, most of the time the proof that people give you is they say, oh, you know, Lucia, you know, but how is that woke? Just because you have a playable female character is not, it doesn't make the game woke in any way whatsoever. So, I don't buy that stuff, that it's woke. I think that, you know, if you look at a game like Saints Row, for example, Saints Row the reboot, that was woke, yes, 100%. But, like, there's really no proof that GTA 6 is woke. Until we see the game, there really isn't any proof of that.
Shit, more guards.
¡Cúbranse con algo! ¡Jodas! You better leave right now. ¡Se metieron! ¡Muérase, imbécil!
If you see anything you like on the way out, do not be shy. Help yourself.
¡No tengo más munición! ¡Morirá, hueputa!
Okay, go, Pierston, run, run.
Good job. The compound is behind you. All that stands between you and immortality is the possibility of your imminent death. Now get out of there. Your exit route via the airstrip is on your GPS now.
I don't mind having female protagonists in games as long as they are not politically correct. Yeah, and I agree with you. Look, here's the thing is, there is only one game where I've ever had a problem with the character being female. Only one, and the reason that I had a problem with that, it was Battlefield 5. The reason that I had a problem with Battlefield 5 is because Battlefield 5 is specifically a historical game, or at least it claims to be a historical game, and so that got me pissed off. Because when you have, like, you know, frontline American infantry, you know, female soldiers, and you have, like, German female infantry soldiers, and then you have, like, British female soldiers, and even Japanese female soldiers, that's just stupid. That did not happen during World War II. Now, yes, women did serve, you know, in the American military during World War II, but they were nurses, they were secretaries, they were aides. They did not see any kind of actual combat. So that was that. So that did not happen. You didn't have infantry, you know, women in the American army storming the beaches of Normandy. You didn't have that happen. There was women that did fight in World War II, 100%. But the women that fought in World War II, they were resistance fighters. So you had, like, French resistance, Polish resistance, Dutch resistance, Yugoslavian resistance, for example, resistance fighters. And then you also had female soldiers in only two militaries during World War II. The only two militaries that had female soldiers were Poland and the Soviet Union. Those are the only two countries that had female troops. Everywhere else, there was no female frontline infantry. And so if they wanted to add playable female characters, why couldn't they add like the Soviet military, for example? They could have added playable female characters there, or they could have added like resistance characters in the multiplayer. So like that's when I got pissed when I see stuff like that. But if it's not like a historical game, I really don't care. So like GTA, it's gonna be interesting seeing from the perspective of like a female criminal's perspective. So I guess they'll do some different stuff there. I don't think that's I don't think that is woke by having Lucia as a female character. I think it becomes woke when they basically try to lie about history, like in a game like Battlefield 5. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. Thank you, Justin Ramos. Thank you for sponsoring my channel for a year and 5 months. Thank you, dude. Yeah, I know they didn't, Isaiah. Yes, Ludmila Pavlichenko. She was a famous Soviet sniper during World War II, yes. Okay, so I guess, guys, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream here. I'm a bit hungry, so I'm gonna have dinner soon here. I'll stick around and answer a few questions before I go. So if there's anything you want to ask me before I go, I'll answer your questions. What's your opinion of Sega in terms of decisions? I actually don't know that much about them, Aaron. I just know they make, like, for example, the Yakuza games, but I don't know more than that. Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows, they had Yasuke.